What's up YouTube? I'm Valentin the Mad, and this is a Gore review of Brutal Doom. So Brutal Doom is a game that got a lot of requests for a Gore review, and with the release of the long-awaited version 20 I figured, why not? Let's do this! Last time I played any of the old Doom games was in '99, and playing Brutal Doom now feels quite refreshing, to say the least. I want to thank Spike, a friend of mine and a viewer of the series, for helping me set the game up to the free version. You can find the guide for that in the video description. There is no piracy involved, just a free version of Doom called Freedom, with the only difference from the paid version being the levels. The weapons, enemies and the gore are the same, and that's the stuff that count. So how brutal is this mod? Let's find out. I'll be reviewing every aspect of the game's gore effects, and the score will be set based on 4 categories: body damage, environment, animations and sounds, the feel. So the best way to describe the body damage in Brutal Doom is a lot of variations. Let's take the firearms for example. You have variations for different stuff you can do. The headshots, limbs dismemberment, having half the body destroyed, and more. And it works the same way for pretty much everything else. From different types of weapons, to the executions you can perform, and even the player deaths that are very cool. The looks of those variations are quite gory actually. Despite being pixelated, they don't look bad at all. I wanna talk about the flamethrower for a moment. The looks of burned and burning characters aren't great, but functionality-wise, it is awesome. Characters run around burning for some time, and then drop to the ground and keep crawling as they are burning. If both stages would be longer, that would be the ideal flamethrower functionality that I'm constantly talking about in the Gore reviews. There are a few issues with the body damage mechanics. First, you can't take a good look at dead bodies. This is what happens when you try. Now I'm well aware that the game is in 2 dimensions, so the solution would be to have several variations for looking at the character from different sides and from above. We already have similar functionality for characters who are lying against the wall. I think it should work the same for characters who are lying on the ground too. Also, often when shooting characters you will see no response. Obviously, I'm not expecting precise body damage wounds in this game, but adding a few damaged variations for each character would do the trick. This applies for the bullet sponge characters too. The environment aspect is the first thing I noticed in Brutal Doom, and it is also the aspect that is impacted the least by the game's age. You have blood splatter for the various attacks, blood pools for dead characters, and inner organs that are spread on the environment. The blood splatter is pretty damn good, there's plenty of it, and it stains the environment mostly in a way that makes sense. The stains themselves look good and gory, and I actually saw blood dripping down when the stain is on the wall or the ceiling, which is very impressive. On top of that, you have very large blood pools for dead characters, and the icing on the cake is the bloody footprints that you leave after walking through blood pools. As for the organs, you will be seeing guts lying on the floor, organs sliding down the walls, pieces of destroyed heads, limbs, and chunks of meat lying around. While there is nothing new about blowing characters into bits and pieces, the thing that makes Brutal Doom stand out is that they all stay there and don't disappear like they do in most games. I'm always saying that the small details count, and well, it doesn't get smaller than this, and the difference that it makes is huge. Seriously, I can't emphasize this enough. However, there are a few issues. The blood stains are often not proportional to the blood spray effect that you see. It's not nearly as bad as you have it in most games, but it still is noticeable. The solution would be either to spawn more and bigger stains, or nerf the spray effects. Also, I have often seen blood spilling from a wound that doesn't stain the environment. Organs lying on the ground with no blood splatter below them, and organs sliding down a clean wall without leaving stains. Once again, these issues are fairly minor, but they do exist. Now how is the mess in the long term? The only stuff that disappears after a while is the blood on the walls and the ceiling. So all of the mess on the floor which includes organs, blood and bodies, stays permanently. Hopefully, the disappearing stains will be patched to stay in one of the future versions. Despite the issues, the environment is absolutely the strongest aspect in the gore system of the game, and actually, it's one of the best that I have ever seen in gaming. As for the animations, you have animations on death, and most of them are fairly short. There are a few animations where the character survives and actually attacks you while bleeding out. However, they are not very common. My suggestion is more non-fatal mutilation variations for each creature, humans included. This applies both for the body damage and the animations aspects. Imagine if most shots wouldn't cause insta-death, but actually lead to various mutilated states in which you can finish the character or leave them to die slowly with a few body parts missing. We already have it in the game. I just think there should be more of it, and it needs to have a bigger role in the brutality of Brutal Doom. As for the sounds, the character response sounds are mostly the same as we got in the original Doom, with a few additions, but you have very cool sounds to blowing enemies up. Specifically, I'm talking about the sounds of flesh and blood being splattered on the surroundings, which is quite good. Also, you can tell enemies to fuck themselves. As far as I'm concerned, that too counts as an improvement over the original game.
Go fuck yourself!
I must say that I had much lower expectations when approaching Brutal Doom, but I was pleasantly surprised. The good body damage, along with the exceptional environment aspect that actually tops most of the games I reviewed in the series, offer a very good and gory experience. Brutal Doom most certainly lives up to its name. So the score for body damage is 9 out of 30. The score for environment is 22 out of 30. The score for animations and sounds is 10 out of 30. I give the feel a score of 7 out of 10. So this gives Brutal Doom's gore system a total score of 48 out of 100. To be honest, I'm not a fan of pixelated graphics at all, but I did find Brutal Doom to be very enjoyable. The work that SergeantMarkIV did with such an old engine really is amazing, and he deserves all of the credit for that. Sure, there are issues, and there is room for improvement, but I think that what we have here now is pretty damn good. Also, the success of Brutal Doom mode can lead to more brutal type of mods. There is already one in the making for the first Half-Life game, and who knows what's next. Personally, I'd love to see such mods for more recent games, and if they happen, I'd be happy to talk about them on this channel. Most games I can think of could use a brutal mod. If someone ever made Brutal Insurgency, I would play the shit out of that. Hope you enjoyed watching the review. Let me know how you feel in the comment section, and if you liked the video, subscribe and share it with your friends. You can find the link to all of my Gore reviews in the video description. Until next time.